You girls are being hunted all over the world. It's open season on women. None of yous are safe, including my mother and my baby girls and my ex-wives and my friends here in my quiet city. So if you're in the inner cities and you don't have weapons and you're a female, don't go out. Just go to work. Don't go alone to work. Don't sit next to anyone. Don't sit in front of anyone. Don't go jogging without multiple partners. Men, preferably. You just can't do it anymore. And I'm sorry. I'm being as honest as I can with you, but whatever you do, go there with weapons. Whatever weapons you can get your hands on, it won't save you some years, but it will a few years. It will. I'm sorry. You girls are being...
Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect, and much respect to the brothers pushing this word in the four winds of the earth, and shalom to you few sincere sisters out there as well. It's about Laviyah coming at you with another one. And before I get started, man, dude in the video seems like he one of them dudes he's talking about, man. You know, that's just me. You know, and he's telling women that, you know, to get weapons and all that, man. Ain't no weapon gonna save you. If Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai ain't got your back, you ain't got nothing, man. Ain't nothing gonna save you. You know, this is why this is the time now to work on yourselves. This is time for all of us to work on ourselves, man. You know, for you women, it's time for you to, you know, I'm not saying that you are, you aren't, I don't know. But now's the time to work on yourself and become a better woman. You know, that should be your main focus, is to be a better woman every day. Be a better woman than you was the day before. You know, because no man knows the day or hour when Yahushua is going to come. No one knows. You know, we following the prophecies. You know, the prophecies is telling us that he's close. You know, because everything that's popping off. But the one thing he did say is true, that women are going to be pretty much targets. I did a lesson on that where I said women and children will be the primary targets, right? Women are gonna be easy targets for men, man. You know, some may have weapons and they might get it off, might get them away from that incident, but then another incident will arise where that weapon is not going to help. You know, and that's not what he's not saying nothing about that. You know. So, yeah, we coming into some times where, you know, a lot of these women are going to get judged, man. A lot of children, too. A lot of men as well. Men, women, and children. But I'm speaking about the women right now. Women are going to be judged, man. You know, for your disobedience, for your disrespect, for the way you carrying yourself, for the for the things you're doing out here, you know, showing your ass and all that on social media. That's all you see. That's all you see now, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all you see. Ain't nobody moved by that. Okay, you showing your ass and your titties and all that. So what? What does that mean? You know, what does that say about you? You know? And the same ones that's out here showing their ass and their titties and all that on the internet are going to be the same ones that get ravished and raped, okay, and held captive, and many other things that these men got planned, because I did another lesson on these dudes called incels, right? And they're a group on the internet that hate women because they can't, they don't have no sex. They don't get sex from no women. So they end up hating them. Now down they hate them, And a good example of that is a documentary on Netflix called The Ohio Murders, a college nightmare, with this dude that um, he was in college with all these kids, and he was taking classes, I guess, to be some type of cop or whatever, to go after serial killers. But he himself wanted to be a serial killer, okay? And he acted it out by going up in the dorm and killing women. I think he killed one dude, to get him out the way. But he went in the dorm of women and he went and killed a couple of them, man. He was in a group that is considered to be incels that hate women. And you're gonna have dudes out here, in the streets, dudes that's released from prison, you know, because you best believe all them prison doors about to open, man. All these sickos, man, and psychopaths is gonna be out here in these streets, you know? And that's why brothers keep saying that a lot of you women are going to suffer, man, because you're gonna be the easy target, the primary target, You're the weaker vessel. A man ain't gonna try and challenge another man like that, not in the times that we coming in, you know. But a man is definitely gonna grab a woman up, man. You know, a lot of these men out here are sexually frustrated, man. You know, but let me get Second Corinthians 10, and I read 1 through 5. Now I Paul myself beseech you by the meekness and gentleness of the Yahushai, the Anointed, who in presence am base among you, but being absent am I bold toward you. But I beseech you I may not be bold when I am present, with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walk according to the flesh. For we walk in the flesh, but we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringeth into captivity every thought to the obedience of the anointed Yahweh Shai. Okay? So these carnal weapons that this man was talking about is not going to save you, man. If you don't have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in your corner, if you haven't established a relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, you're through. You're done. Miseries that you couldn't even comprehend are coming your way, man. They're coming your way. And I'm speaking about primarily you women right now, man. Because terrorists are coming for a lot of you people, man. But for you women that's out here, doing all these unruly things, okay? These to us, men of the Lord, Lord willing, I'm of that number. These things that are unsavory, grotesque, disgusting, the way you're carrying yourselves on, on the internet, man. It's crazy. You know, the things you see, you know, is ridiculous. And these carnal things are not going to save you. A knife, a gun, a hatchet, a sword, an axe, or whatever you got. A taser, you know, bear spray, or, pepper spray, whatever. It may get you out of an encounter, but it's not going to save you. Because eventually, you're not going to be able to use that, man. And the Lord will put you in a situation where you ain't going to be able to win, man. That's why you can't go against the Lord, man. The Lord will put you in a situation fast, man, where you can't get yourself out of it, man. And you're succumb to whatever is around you, man. And there's nothing you can do. And you women need to start recognizing that, man. Recognize the time that we in. Recognize the things that could potentially happen to you. And that should make you afraid. That should make you want to say, let me stop this bullshit and let me get serious, because, the time is coming where, all hell's going to break loose, man. And like I said, these men are going after you women first, man. First and foremost. When the lights go out, when the lights go out, people get freaky and shit. We've been to we've been to parties, basement parties and all that, man. You know what happened when the lights go off, man. Can't nobody see nothing. I mean, of course the Lord can see all, but I'm talking about people. Can't nobody see nothing what's going on in the dark, man. And that's going to be the mentality of a lot of these men. Can't nobody see what I'm doing in the dark, man. I can get away with it now. I could do this, I could do that. And I'm not going to jail for doing it. This is my fantasy. This is what I want to do. I want to hold women captive, and I want to do this and that. There's a lot of built up anger, man, from these men, from their youth, toward their mother. Their mother treated them like crap. Or maybe their sister or a cousin or something like that, grandmother or whatever, a female, and they encountered the same spirit throughout his whole life. To now, he's resentful towards women, and that's the type of character that's going to be out here in these streets real soon, man, and Slovakia. Just like, a lot of you women that deal with multiple men, is going to get judged, man. Because the man of the Lord ain't going to want to deal with you. A man of the Lord is going to see your mentality and be like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to deal with you. Get away from me. And that's the new thing now, when women think it's okay for themselves to, for them to pass around themselves. I'll say it that way. They think it's okay, and it's not okay. What's that? 1 John, John 4, I believe. The Samaritan woman at the well. Slovakia. I think it's John 4. And I'll read 13 through 18. Let's see what we got here. Okay, yeah, and it said, Yahushua answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. Let me read that again. Yahushua answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him, right, which is his word, shall never thirst, right? But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. And the woman said unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yahweh said unto her, Go call thy husband, and come hither. And the woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahweh said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou hast is not thy husband. And that saidest thou truly, Salakio, for my speech. But the woman at the well pretty much wanted blessings from Yahweh, which shows you she wasn't an Israelite, man. She was not an Israelite. We're not even getting into that right now. But that was a heathen woman. And heathen women, for the most part, believe they can do things like that. Go around, sleep with men, different men and all that, and it's cool, right? And a lot of you women that are Israelites, talking about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, have been drunken by the Babylonian wine, which is a philosophy, and you think it's cool for you to go out and sleep with this man, that man. That's like a heathenistic act, man. An Israelite woman is not supposed to be doing that, man. You're supposed to hold yourself to a higher standard than that, you know? And sleeping with multiple men, the Lord sees that, man. And the Lord is going to give you, and I always say this, the Lord is going to give you the attention that you've been seeking. But once you get it, it ain't going to be the attention that you want, man. And a lot of women out here are just like that woman at the well, in denial, saying, nah, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that, but you really are doing this and that, man. And you're going to be held accountable for the things that you have done. Just because it didn't happen to you right away doesn't mean that nothing is not going to happen to you, And it's all going to play out when these lights go out, man. The Salakia. Just like Jezebel. And what's that, First Kings in 18:4, she tried to kill the prophets, man. And she's mentioned in First Kings 19 too. She tried to kill the prophets, And there's gonna be women out here, there's women out here now talking shit. The elder goes into it all the time. Manataba from South Carolina, Shalom to you. He goes into it all the time. So that Jezebel spirit is here now. And it's not just one woman. It's many women that, have that Jezebel spirit, man. Going against the prophets. Yep. Let me get this real quick. Ecclesiastes, Salakia 1:9. And it says, that thing that had been, it is which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Right? So what happened back then definitely is happening now, man. You can see it. It's not hard to see, man. Okay, these are not new things being done under the sun at all. These things have happened before, but they're really being shown now in this time, man. you know, and they're really being shown now in this time. And, a lot of these women are going to feel the fire, man. They're going to feel the pain, because everybody has a lot. We have a lot of a prophet, that we've been continuously going over, or since the beginning, because the spirit never dies, man. The spirit is energy. The spirit never dies. So we continuously keep coming back doing what we've been doing, regardless of what lot the Lord puts you in, right? And a lot of these women here are in a lot of being the way they've been, you know. Psalm 16:5 says, "The Lord is the portion of my inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintainest my lot," you know. So for us prophets, we were always prophets. We were always doing the Lord's work, just like the women that's out here, like Apostle Gabar always says, that's monkey branching and dealing with different men are out here doing that today, man. That's just a lot, But at the end of that lot, is not going to be something nice for you, you know. Your ways and actions are going to catch up with you. And no one's going to be able to save you. And no one's coming to save you. You can scream all you want, like the scriptures say that's a woman's defense. What's that? And yeah. Matter of fact, let me just go there real quick. Because that's a woman's defense. Ecclesiastes 26 and 27. Yeah, a loud crying woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies. So a woman uses her voice to get someone off of them, or get someone from around them, to alert people that are within hearing distance, that something wrong is happening, So you have it now where there'll be people that come to your rescue and try to help you because they hear you in distress. But soon, them cries are going to fall on deaf ears and no one's going to care, man. No one's going to care. These are the times that we're coming in right now, man. These are the times that we're coming in right now. Let me see. I'll read on 24 and 25. A dishonest woman contendeth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband, and you're not getting that in this society. That's, I'm not saying there's not women that do that, because there are, but they're very far in between, man. Not very many women will reverence their husband and show him respect. There's a lot of disrespectful women out here, man. A lot of disrespectful women. And it says, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. And a lot of these women are shameless. And remember how Jezebel met her end. She got chewed up by a pack of dogs, man. She got ripped apart. After she fell from that window, she got ripped apart by some dogs, which is kind of symbolic to me. That's how women are behaving now, man. That's how you women are looked at now, as dogs, as meat, as something to do. You're not respected. A lot of you women don't dress modestly, or even act modestly. You know, a lot of you women are stuck in this time now where you feel empowered. You know, you want to show your body. You know, you want to like I said, be disrespectful. You know, you want to um, indulge in this culture that's out here right now, man. And it's gonna catch up to y'all, man. It's gonna catch up to y'all. You know. I mean, I think that's all I really want to say, man. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to bring it out real quick, man. I just saw that lesson, that video. Not that lesson, that video that homeboy did. You know, which the first part is true. You know, that a lot of these women are going to face some horrors, man. A lot of horrible things are going to happen to you. You know, to you women that's not right in the mind, in the spirit, man. You know, but for you sisters that's you know, pushing like we are, you know, just hold on to the faith, man, and stay prayed up and keep doing what you need to do, and you know, be strive to be better than you was yesterday, man. That's all. That's all you can do. You know, but just try and be better, because these women out here in the society are not trying to be better. You know, they think, you know, they know it all. They got it all under control. You know, can't nobody tell them nothing. You know, and all these attributes are gonna catch up with them, man. And they gonna feel the fire. They gonna feel the pain. You know, and it's not something that I'm wishing will happen. The scriptures say it's going to happen. You know, so you know that's just something to think about. And I just want to do a quick lesson on it. I pray it's edifying. I want to say shalom to the next one.